Hello, good afternoon. It's Sunday evening, 7 p.m. I had a good day. I worked out today, and we're here with a special guest. Her name is Janea, and I'm going to let her introduce herself. We'll be doing some talking about sober living housing, and I'm going to let the young lady introduce herself. Go ahead.
Well, my name is Janea Scott. I am the owner of Treasures Place Sober Homes. Do you want to talk to the camera or you?
Me.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to talk to the camera, you can.
I don't want to touch the camera.
Okay.
But I'm the owner of Treasures Place Sober Homes for women here in St. Paul. And that's who I am.
Okay, we'll get started.
Yeah.
It's nice meeting you. So when you start, you are kind of an entrepreneur because you started off with your own business. You had a hair business.
Yeah.
That was called Treasures.
Treasures Place.
Yeah.
I mean, Urban Treasures.
Urban Treasures.
Yes.
They did hair in there.
Mhm.
And then you also had a thrift store, I
Yes.
believe, too.
Yeah.
And so now it brings us to the sober living. So how did you come to want to open up a sober house?
So, me and my husband, my late husband, owned a hair shop called Urban Treasures on Dale and Thomas. And my husband was all about owning his own business and family businesses and whatnot. And so he fatally passed away in 2017. And I wanted to keep the dream alive of owning your own business. And I was inspired to open up a sober housing from another person that I knew that owned sober homes. And I looked at her business and it really, vibed with me. And I decided I was going to go ahead and do it. So I did it really just to honor his memory.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't for your own personal life?
It ended up being for my own personal healing because as I started working with the ladies, and I'm a helper just in general, and it's what I like to do. I help everybody. So it helped me with my healing as far as with grieving. And I love my women that I have, and I love their journey and their strength, and it also helped me get strength and stuff with dealing with grief.
So what I would like for you to do is explain the difference between sober living and a halfway house. And so a lot of people don't know the two differences between sober living and a halfway house. Can you explain that?
So sober living is a place where I have women, so we'll use women, so it could be women, men, but we'll just talk about Treasures Place. Sober living is a place where women who are in recovery, who were addicts, and who are working on their recovery can go and live in supportive housing. And so they live in a place where other people are going through the same journey, and they're around their own peers, and they can if other accountable and keep each other kind of sober and be on the same right path. A lot of times when people get out of inpatient treatment and if they have nowhere to go, they'll go back home or go back to the life that they knew, which will cause them to relapse and go back into drinking or drugs or whatever it was that they were into. When they get out of inpatient treatment and go to a sober living environment, they're able to still work on their recovery until they're ready to get out into the real world.
Okay.
A halfway house is more for, I believe, don't quote me on this because I don't know that much about halfway houses, but I think it's for people who are getting out of the system and incarcerated and who need to go back into the real world and stuff like that. And so a lot of times they're mandated to go to those places. Sober living is optional. So the girls want to be there. It's not state funded. It is something that they pay for themselves, and they want to be there because they're not quite ready to go into the real world.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you were looking for the housing, and this is why I asked the question between the difference between a halfway house and a sober house, because I believe in a halfway house you have to notify the neighborhood of who's coming in the house. Do you have to do that with a sober house?
No.
Okay.
Because with sober homes, so being an addict is like a disability because it is a disease. Addiction is a disease. And so it's looked at differently than people who are getting out of prison who are have crimes behind them. So no, you don't have to notify the neighborhood in St. Paul. I believe in Minneapolis you might have to.
Oh, okay. There's a difference in the gap.
In different cities, and I'm not too educated on the reasoning or anything. My house is in St. Paul. You don't have to notify.
Oh, okay. And so when I was reading the admission, you have to. What threw me off, what I wanted to ask is, with the admission, you guys have a lot of requirements.
Uh-huh.
You have to have a $300 deposit,
Uh-huh.
and then it's the housing fees like $650 to $700,
Uh-huh.
and a 30-day. You have to be 30 days sober.
Mhm.
Why is that? 30 days sober. You just can't come in.
No, because we want to make sure that you're really serious about working on your recovery.
Okay.
We don't, some people could just be homeless, and this is really it needs to be a safe environment.
Okay.
And so for people who are serious about their recovery, they are working on their sobriety and whatnot. So that's why. For safety reasons.
Okay, that's interesting. I was like, okay, why is that? And I also wanted to know, as I was reading down the admission requirements, it said schooling. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, no, you have to. It's either or. So you have to have 20 hours of productive activity.
Okay.
So you either have to be in an outpatient program working on your recovery, you have to be working for 20 hours, volunteering for 20 hours, going to school for 20 hours, looking for a job for 20 hours a week, on top of attend 2 AA meetings, work with your sponsor, and you have to be working on your recovery in order to be in the house. You can't just be sober and need a place to stay. You have to be, it has to be a journey for you.
Okay. So do they have a curfew? Do they have to check in at a certain time? Is this every day, or is it the weekends you give them more of their leniency and let them have their own life on the weekend, or is it throughout the week?
No, for the first 30 days when somebody comes into the home, their curfew is 10 p.m. And that's Monday through Sunday. And then after that 30 days, their curfew goes to midnight, and then they're also eligible for 2 overnights a week. So as long as they follow the program rules and do their 20 hours or more, and doing what they're supposed to do as far as their chores of the house, and aren't causing any trouble or anything like that, they're usually approved their 2 overnights a week.
Okay, so what is the environment in the home for the residents that stay there?
At Treasures Place, we keep a real positive environment.
Okay.
So we try to keep a good positive vibe, no kind of animosity, no kind of attitudes. Even though it's all women, we want it to be always positive at all times. So I won't even really, I won't take anybody who's negative. I'll say that if you have a negative attitude in life, or just, a Debbie Downer or something like that, I'm not gonna say I won't take you, but it's our rule to be positive and cordial and respectful.
So what if they come in negative? Do you guys look at them as in, okay, what can we make a change in making them more positive? Do you work with them, or is it just like a no-go? You're gonna have to find something?
If it's not a good fit for our house, then it would just be it just wouldn't be a good fit. And sometimes I can tell, sometimes we go off of vibe. If you come in with a negative attitude, chances are you're gonna have a negative attitude while you're inside, and you're gonna have a hard time with your recovery. And maybe you're not really even working on your recovery, So we kind of choose who we let in. We're a little picky.
Oh,
a little bit.
So I was reading with certain sober homes, they have like an on-site therapist. Some of them have an on-site nurse, social worker. Do you have that in your home? And why is that?
So those would be like state funded or inpatient treatment sober homes. Ours is not inpatient treatment. Basically, the only thing we do is offer housing. Okay. So we offer a clean living environment, and no, we're not even supposed to offer any kind of counseling or nursing or anything like that to be a sober home in Minnesota.
Is that something that you would look further into?
No, I don't think so.
Why is that?
Well, because it's too much work. No. This is my first interview now, but no, it is. You have to be involved with the state, and I think for me, being a single person running a business by myself, it's easier for me to run it the way of just being a sober home and offering the hospitality of the place versus the medical side. Okay. You have to have a board, you have to have more employees, you have to have more money. I don't have that much money. Let's just put it like that. That's the real reason. You have to have way more money, and I don't have that much money.
So do you guys, so with the sober living, do you guys have them do drug tests? Or,
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how is it often or is it just pop-up drug tests?
It's
or-
random. We random.
Okay.
We random our residents as needed, and it's just more off of. Sometimes it's monthly. Sometimes it's off of attitudes and
Okay.
and activity.
Okay.
You know, suspicious activity and stuff like that. But we hold a weekly meeting every month. I mean,
Okay.
every week. A weekly meeting every month. We hold a weekly meeting every week where we check in with each resident
Okay.
and see how they're doing and see, you know, what's going on in their life as far as how they're feeling, their highs and lows,
Okay.
and also to make sure the house is ran properly.
Okay, that's good. Okay. So if I lived in sober living, right, and so I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go job interview, I'm going to look out for work, and so I come in past curfew, or you guys think I'm a little drunk, or anything like that. Well, you ask me to leave the house, or is
No, we
there
would do a
steps to it?
breathalyzer, right? We would do a breathalyzer and stuff. If we think let's say if you come in late and we don't think you're intoxicated or using, then we would administer some kind of consequence, like maybe take away your overnight or put you on an earlier curfew or something like that. If we had suspicions that you were using, then we would offer a drug test, and there's no using in the house. So if you failed a drug test or a breathalyzer, you would be asked to immediately leave, because you would be compromising the safety of the other girls.
Okay.
You could trigger some other girls like that.
That's true. That is very true. So are there locks on the rooms in the house,
No.
or also it's basically like a dorm, you just walk in and out of your room?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, and I have 5 bedrooms with